So we'll be seeing now firewall. Okay, in the firewall, we'll have first basic initialization for firewall. When you initialize your firewall, by default, first thing you need to check is the mode. Okay, you can have multiple or single mode, but now I'm having single mode. What does it mean? I'm only having one box inside this physical. I can have multiple firewall inside the firewall, but now I'm having only one thing. And then another thing you gotta check is what you call the mode also. Is your firewall a router, like working on a layer 3 basis, or is it working on layer 2 basis? You understand? But for now, my firewall is behaving like a router, which means that every interface of this firewall should have an IP address if I wanted to communicate. You understand? The first thing I like to do when I come to the firewall is clear everything, because I can have things running off, but I'd like to clear anything. So nothing is there. If I put show run, basically nothing is configured. You understand that? So basic initialization of a firewall. How do you initialize your firewall? Over here we have the interface that we need to allow in the firewall. How do you go about doing it? When you go inside your physical interface, your firewall can have a physical interface. But now you have to do this. Not the ability, but it's an obligation. You have to give it a name, a logical name. You understand? And this name is very important, because from this point on, every command you use will depend neither on this interface but what? On the name. Every command you're gonna put will depend on this name you're going to put. So over here they say on E0 we have to put its name outside. Something I want you to keep in mind is this is not case sensitive. I can put either like this, whatever I can put, it means the same thing. So either you put it uppercase or lowercase, it's the same thing. You understand that? But very much so the name doesn't matter case sensitive, but actually it follows the case. It preserves the name. If you put a name like this, okay, if you put a name like this isn't case sensitive, which means you can also use a lowercase, you can also refer it as a lowercase, but it preserves the case, which say all the time the name is gonna be what? Like this. But although I put a lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter, but all the time is gonna take it like this. This is very important, because in your exam, when Cisco gives you an exam, they give you a name and they say the naming you should use, by example, like this. Let's say like this. You need to keep it this way. Don't change. Don't say, okay, because it's not case sensitive, I'm just gonna use like this. You lose your marks. So follow the name as it is there. Yes, it's not case sensitive, but no problem, follow the name. And something I also want you to keep in mind is when I name anything, you give name anytime you initialize your interface. Okay, anytime you give a name, unless you write inside, by default it gives them a security level of 0. Unless you give what? Inside, not INS, not internal, but inside. If you don't give inside, any name you give will come with a security level of what? 0. Very important. I'll show you this in the next interface. So you give a name, then you define what? Your IP address. Now I'm having my outside in 20.10. What I can do is I can specify a mask if I want. If you don't want to specify a mask, you can also press enter. What it does is it takes the default mask for this class. What is the default mask for this class? Class C, right? So is it gonna be 24? When I press enter, it's initializing. Let's wait for a moment. Okay, when you put show run IP, you'll see that it has taken the default mask. So this is a good thing if you want to save your time. And the next thing is no shut it down. on the interface. You understand? So when I put show interface IP brief, you see that my interface is what? It's up. I'm gonna do the same thing for interface E1. My interface E1 is inside. What did I tell you? When I put name if inside, and let me also follow the naming. The naming is there, so it's gonna be inside INC, not like this, like this. Okay, when I press enter, security level 100. Okay, I want to show you something. Let me default it. No, let me clear it. I want to show you something. Clear config interface E1. Okay, I come back and I say name if is INS. It give me 0. Why? Because it only recognized inside. It has to be inside. If it's INS or internet, give me 0. Then I say, oh, you know what? I had to give name if inside. Then you come back and give name if inside. And when you put show name if, you see it has name if inside, but what is the security level? 0. Because for the first time, it only recognized this for the first time. When you are what? Initializing the interface. This is when it gives, you say, oh, this is inside, give him 100. When you do it the second time, third time, fifth time, unlimited times, it's no more gonna recognize it. So you have to do it for the first time. Let's just do it in a proper way now that you get it. Name if inside. Okay, I get it. Now my IP address is what? 10.11.11.10. And now I have to specify the mask. Why? Because my default is gonna be 255. You understand? If I press enter, it's just gonna take the class A. Class A is 255.0.0. But what I want is I have to take 24. So let me specify it this way. I initialize the interface. Come on, text time. Yeah, then I no shut it down. I'm gonna do the same thing for E2. Now the naming for this guy is gonna be DMZ3. But if you realize now my security level is what? 50. Here I have to specify it because you either take 0 or 100 by default when initializing. But if I want to change it, you have a command called security level where you can go 50. Did I give an IP address? No. IP address 3.10. Default mask, no problem. Come on. Yeah, and no shut. No shut. Then you have E3. Name if DMZ4. Okay. Security level. Just put IP address first. I'll put the security level after this because it's taking a bit time. Oh yeah, so taking time, no problem. Yeah, and security level is also 50, and then no shut. Okay, so when I put show interface IP address, you'll see that all my interfaces are. Can I ping my R1? Yes, I can. Can I ping my R2? Yes, I can. Can I ping my R3? Yeah, is in 3. Yes, I can. Can I ping my R4? Yes, I can. Okay, so this is how you do it. And now this is something I can tell you later, but I have to tell you this. By default, when you do this, how does the firewall behave? You maybe know it, but how does it behave? By default, traffic coming from the higher, when you see this, traffic coming from the higher security level to the low security level is permitted by default. Just have to show it a bit quickly. Over here, I've already configured the IP route, which means everything is pointing to the ASA. So when I go over here, I want to go to R2. I can go, no problem. I've already put the telnet. it's me. Why? Because the ASA allow, my R1 is in the highest security level, and the ASA allow it. Sorry, shotgun all. Oh, didn't build it because the ASA allowed. So shotgun, you have what you call a connection table that is built, so the reply packet is allowed. But any traffic coming from the lower security level to the higher security level is denied by default. Is not allowed. You have to allow it either by inspecting it or by using what? Access list. You understand? So, and I have to mention that although TCP is allowed, ping is not allowed. Because ping is what? Is not inspected by default. Yes, the packet is going through. If I debug over here, debug IP ICMP, you see that the packet is coming to R2. See, he has received the packet from this guy, but is replying. But what's blocking it? The firewall. You understand? So you have to allow it because ping is not inspect. TCP and UDP is inspect by default. Something I also wanted to tell you. Yes, it's inspected by default. Okay, something I wanted to tell you. R1 can go to anybody. You can go to R3. Sorry, I wanted to do telnet actually. Let me first put you all here. R1 can go to R3, no problem. You can go there, he's in the R3. You understand? You can go to R4 as well, no problem. Because what? Low to high is permitted, and R3 can also go to whom? To R2, because low to high permitted. Anybody which is higher than below this, they will go. R3 can go. If I press enter, is in, no problem. But what about R3 to R4? Same security level. What about them? Can he go? Let me see. He can't. You understand? Even though I have an access list here, I told you to fix this, you have to put an access. But even though I have an access list over here, let's say DMZ 3, DMZ 4, yeah, permits IP any, okay, and then I go inside access group, what, DMZ 4, sorry, in interface DMZ4. Even though I put an access list allowing this packet, when I press enter, it's never gonna go. So you have a command in your firewall that can allow you to permit this traffic. I'm just gonna clear the access list. So you have a command in your firewall that helps you to do it. What is the command? Same security traffic. Same security traffic permits. You have inter-interface and intra-interface. This is for any traffic coming from the same interface. This is for any traffic coming from different interface, but having what? Same security level. You understand? So in my case here, we have traffic coming from what? Different interface. You understand? So it's an inter-interface coming from one interface to another. I have to permit this traffic. If all this traffic was coming only from one interface, then I would use this. Okay? Yes, inter-interface, exactly. They have same security level. So to permit it, I put inter-interface. Enter. Now R3 can go. Cisco, I'm in. You understand? If I didn't put this, even your access list is not gonna give you access. You see, even your access list is not gonna give you those. So the best thing to do to allow traffic coming from the same security level is this command, same security permit inter-interface. If this traffic is coming from two different interfaces, but from my side is this one and this guy, I do this. If this traffic was coming from only this interface and going out of this interface, then I have to use this. But now it's coming from this interface and going out this interface. You understand that? This is something I wanted also to mention. So yeah, so there are things that you can do in your firewall. Okay, services. What are the services you can do in your firewall? Let's say you are into a small office and you don't have a DHCP server, and you would love to have a DHCP server. What you can do is, and what Cisco has given you the ability to do is, you can make your firewall as a DHCP server. You understand? So your firewall can be a DHCP server. This is something I don't advise you to do, because this is not meant to be a DHCP server, but you have the ability to make it a DHCP server. You understand? So how do you go about doing it? The first thing you have is DHCPD. Okay, over here I'm gonna define my DNS. What is my DNS? I can either say that my DNS is gonna be this guy, leaving maybe according to your lab is, I think is 35. Okay, is this guy, from which interface is it coming to? I can press enter. If I press enter, anybody can take this DHCP or this DNS. But I can also specify that this is a DNS for anybody coming from what? The interface DMZ3. So from anybody coming from this interface is gonna be his DNS. The DNS is this guy. So if I have like a DNS for this interface, a DNS for this guy, I can specify them. You understand? Or I can just say this is a global DNS. So anybody asking a DNS from any interface is gonna take it. But over here I want this guy to be a DNS only for people coming from this interface. Okay? Same thing with DHCP wins. I can also say this guy is also for my wins, only for which interface? DMZ3. Only for DMZ3. So people from this interface, they are gonna have these guys as a win server and DNS server. And then the next thing I have to define is the address. What is the pool you want to give to these guys? So you need to define your pools. Let's say for my case, it's gonna be from 50 to 168.1.100. Okay, and over here I have to define the interface where this pool is gonna be given. Now I'm configuring it for R3. So where is R3? DMZ3. Okay, this is where this pool is gonna be used. Notice something I told you in the beginning. See, the interface is what? In uppercase, but over here I'm using what? Lowercase. It's still taking it, so it's not case sensitive. It doesn't tell me you have to use uppercase. No. But now you have to be careful, because if you made a mistake, if in your exam they define it as a lowercase, don't say okay, it's just gonna work. Follow the exam as it is. You understand? So now this pool is gonna be given to people coming from what? From this interface. And then the next thing, although I've done this, DHCP is still not enabled. Sorry, put state, I believe, yeah. Although I've done this, DHCP is still not enabled what? In this interface. So the last thing you need to do is what? Enable DHCP. When I enable it now, oh sorry, yeah, I cannot just enable it like this. For what interface are you enabling it? You cannot enable it globally. I'm enabling it for DMZ3. Now my state is what? DHCP server is running for which interface? DMZ3. Now let's say you can say you didn't define the default gateway. Well, in your firewall, when you give the IP address, it gives himself as a default gateway. For this interface over here, it's gonna tell this router I'm the default gateway. So when I go to R3, show IP interface brief at the level, yeah, I have already the IP address. Okay, let me just change it for now. I'm just gonna go and change it now. I'm gonna put no, let's say shut, and then no IP address, and then IP address DHCP. Okay, then I put no shut. Let's see what's gonna have.
But every time
okay,
you have to give again IP address DHCP, you cannot keep that. You cannot.
No, I have to define. Yeah, I have to define which DHCP, which from what is it gonna take the IP address. I can either define it manually, or I can say take an IP address from what, a DHCP. So now he has got an IP address. If I put show IP interface brief, you will see I have an IP address, right? But more important, what did I tell you about the default route? The firewall injected default route. Sorry, this one I defined it statically. Let me just remove it as well so that you can see. Section IP route. Yeah, I have defined this. Let me just remove it because it's there, but it's waiting because this has been defined statically. Now is there, you see, with a AD of 254. This now has been injected by my DHCP server, by the firewall. You understand that?
Yes.
So this is how you make your firewall as a DHCP server. I'm gonna change it because I don't wanna do this. I'm gonna change it. Let me just copy this. Did I copy it? Yeah. Okay. No shot. No problem. Then my routing. I also want to define the route. Where's the route? Yeah, this is the route. Okay, so everything looks good. Show IP interface brief. I can ping the file. Okay, everything works well. The next thing is, how do you make your firewall a NTP client? Okay, let's say I have parce que j'ai aussi oublié de mentionner. Yeah, something I forget about option is you can also use what, DHCP option. Okay, where you can define now like what is that? Yeah, where you cannot define your default gateway or anything, any option in the DHCP request you have, you can reply or send with these options. Very important. So how do you make your DHCP your firewall as a NTP client? Okay, so I'm gonna have my R2 being an NTP server. The first thing I need to do is change the clock. How do I go about changing the clock? Clock set. Okay, what is the time now? I'm gonna use let's say 10 a.m. so 10:30 00, and today is 31st. I'm maybe gonna use 20 October 2015. Okay, I've changed my clock. My clock now is this, but this clock is based on the GMT. I want it to be based on maybe IST, Indian Standard Time. How do I change it? You have what you call time zone. You change the clock, then you change the time zone. My time zone is IST, which is +4 from the GMT. Okay, +4, +5, I don't know. So from the GMT, if you are in the GMT now, the Indian Standard Time should be like 4 hours ahead from the GMT, or 4:30 hours. Okay, so now you'll see that my time is gonna change. It's gonna add 10 to 4. Now my time will be what? 14. Okay, so now I have my time. How do you go about making your router an NTP server? You have NTP, then you have master. Okay, NTP master stratum number. What is the stratum number? Believability. How many hops away from the real time? For me, it's NTP master 2. Now I'm a server. How do you make your firewall a client to this server? Very simple. First thing, let me change my time zone. I wanna be maybe from the GMT. Okay, I wanna be in the GMT, which is 0. Okay, GMT, the exact time. Okay, I wanna be from the GMT, which is 0. I'm changing my time zone. So if I put show clock, you see that my GMT is what? I'm now in GMT. I was in UTC, now I am in GMT. The next thing, how do you make it a client? NTP server. Here, define your server. Who's the server that you'll be asking for the IP address? You can give it, in my case, it's R2. When I press enter, look exactly to his time. His time is 7. Now he's gonna ask the time from the R2, and R2 will tell him what is the exact time. Okay, it's coming. Sometimes you also need to check the associations if they has made it. Okay, they have made, this is R2 the address and so forth, no problem. So if he doesn't have it, okay, he has picked the time. You see, this time he has been taken from which server? R2. Okay, maybe sometimes you'd like to make security to this communication. How do you go about doing it? What I want to show you is in the notepad. How do you do this security? First thing is doing what? NTP authentication. Enable the authentication for your router. The first thing you need to do, you need to enable it. Then the next thing is define your key. Authentication, authentication key. You need to define your key. What is your key? Let's say key 1, and your password is, let's say, CCISEC. Enable authentication, define the key, then trust the key. My trust key is 1. Trust the key. This is the only thing you need to do in the server. Enable authentication, define the key, and then do what? Trust the key. I'm gonna copy it and paste it over here from R2. Sorry, this is what I think. Trust, NTP. No. Trusted key. So trusted key is 1. This is how I should write it. Trusted. Enable it, define the key, and trust it. In the server, or in the client, sorry, same thing. You need to enable it. Enable, define it, and trust it. But not only that, the next thing, I'm gonna copy this and paste into my client, which is the firewall. Okay, I've enabled it, I've defined it, and I trust it. But not only that, I need to specify to whom this key is gonna be used. For my case, to whom is it gonna be used? R2. So you specify the address of R2. But not only that, what is the key you should use when you go ask for the time in R1 and R2? Sorry. If you don't do this, although you specify it, it's not gonna send it to R2. It's gonna go empty. So you gotta say go to R2 with this key. R2 is the one holding the key. I don't have to specify. It doesn't have to show anybody. You understand that? So how did you do it for the firewall? Define the key, enable the key, define it, trust it, but not only that, specify it to whom are you using it. Understand? This is for your server, and this is for your client in the firewall. Very important. The next thing we'll be doing over here is logging. How do you do logging into the firewall? You have the ability to keep. What is logging? Logging is the ability you have to keep track of your logs. Let's say anything is going on in your firewall, traffic are going down and up and this, and you are not there. When you come, the first intention will be what? To investigate. Your logs can tell you what happened to your firewall. You understand? So your logs are very important, but how do you now control them? How do you keep track of them? in this lab you'll see first thing is how can you keep logs inside your buffer. Okay, but what Cisco has done for you is for the logging, they have classified logs based on the traffic. Instead of you checking every logs, you can check logs based on the classes. Let's say I just want to check for OSPF. You can only check, okay, I only want to check, let's say it's OSPF which is causing bad deployment or whatever. You can only check OSPF logs. I don't want to check everything. So anytime this thing is happening, I only want to check OSPF logs. So your router, your firewall give you the ability to do what? To classify logs based on the traffic. You can have IPsec or VPN logs. You can have, you understand that? So how do you go about classifying it? In this lab here, we'll see how you can classify IPsec and all those things. The first thing you do is logging list. You can create what is a logging list. I'm creating a logging list in which I will now put what? All my class, my logging class that I want to know, I want to check about. Logging list, give it a name. This is just a name. I can even give, okay, let me say this is a VPN list. Inside, what type of log are you looking for? You can define the level. What type of level are you interested in? I'm not interested into alerts or critical or debugging. I'm interested to anything, anything critical, let's say. I'm not interested to notification. I'm interested to anything critical. But for which class? Over here, you have a bunch of class of logging. Instead of going and looking for LSA traffic belongs to what? A class of OSPF. You understand that? Or any RIP updates. I want to look for RIP. No. You just pick one class. Pick RIP. Inside RIP, you have everything about RIP. Or maybe VPN tunnels up and down. You just have a VPN class. You can pick this class and inside, everything is there. So over here, I'll be defining it for VPN class. Okay. So logging list VPN for level critical for class VPN. I want to investigate for IK and IPsec. So I've taken what? Class VPN. And I also want to investigate for what? VPN clients. Which class I'm going to take? VPNC. You understand? That's why I name it VPN. Now I define your logging list. Now, defining it does not mean is everything. You have to now say where to use it, where to send it. You cannot define. For my case now, I'm gonna define a buffer. I wanna send it to my buffer. A buffer is a space in your memory. Okay, in this case is a space in my firewall where I can now say, okay, everything keep it in my memory, inside in the local memory. But what it does is it does a circular log. No, it's a buffer. It's a space in your memory where it keeps track of logs. Okay, but what it does is it does a circular log. Every time your buffer is filled, it goes back to the first thing, rewrite it, and comes back. So it's like a circular. If my buffer is full, it go back to the previous data I've stored, puts the new one, and then come back. It's a circular log. So you'll always have what? The new update or the new logs, the recent logs. So here in my logging buffer, I want to define, please save my list. You have a word here, word, which can specify the name of a logging list. Please, in my logging buffer, send all the VPN, or send VPN. What is in the VPN list? Class for VPNC and what? VPN. So in my buffer, I'm gonna have traffic from VPN and VPNC, and then you can press enter. You understand? I also have to define my buffer size. You can also define your buffer size. In the lab, they asked me to put it into a 32768. So I can define this is a 32 MB.
So 32 giga.
20 mega. 32 megabyte. You understand? So I've defined my site. If I put show running logging, you'll see that I have a list. I define a list. Inside the list, I define the level of my logs, okay, and then the class, which logs should be sent to this list, should be kept to this list, and then where is this list being stored or being sent? Where are these logs being sent? In my case, these logs are being sent where? In my buffer. Inside my buffer, I'm sending VPN. What is VPN? It's a list which contains all critical messages for VPN and VPNC. So this logging list, what I can do with it, I can also send it to a syslog server if I want. To send it to a syslog server, what you need is just logging host, specify your host, let's say R2. Sorry. Yeah, logging host, I think. Yeah, logging host. Where is it? Let's say R2 is in my outside, and then I can specify, and then I can now enter the protocol. Everything is fine. My logging is gonna be sent to my syslog server. You understand? But now, what if I have to mail it to somebody? How can a firewall send a mail to somebody? Understand? I can also say, okay, I want you to mail this logging. Let's say for now, yes, let's say by example, I'm gonna define a new logging list. Okay, my logging list, let's say it's a RP, standing for routing protocol, and I want you to take every errors messages. Okay, my level of messages I'm looking for is what? Error messages. For what class? Because it's a routing protocol, I want to take it for what? RIP. What else? OSPF. What else? ERGRP or BGP, anything you want. But in my logging list, I define what? Error messages have to be captured for all these classes. So anything about LSA, RIP updates, or ERGRP, hello packet, whenever I have an error, take this logging, put it what? In my logging list called RP. Now, how can I mail it to somebody? To mail it to somebody, something you have to know first is what? To whom are you mailing it? What is the address of the person you're mailing it? You understand? So my recipient address, my recipient is the one receiving this mail. Put his mail address. You can put, let's say, is an admin at maybe cci.com. Okay, this is the guy who will receive this mail, but I'm sending it. Who's sending this mail? You also need to put it from address. Who is he sending this mail? Okay, my firewall, you can put fwcci.com. Now, my firewall is not a SMTP server. My firewall is not a simple mail transfer protocol. The only guy who can send this is a SMTP server. So you have to define who's your SMTP server. In this case, I can say, let's say my SMTP server is 20.100. You understand? So my firewall is gonna send this mail. It's gonna send this login to SMTP server, and this guy now will mail what? Will mail to this guy. And so what is to be sent? I define who's gonna receive and who's gonna send. Yeah, but what is gonna be sent? Inside your mail, you put your data. So how to define what is gonna be sent? You also have login mail. Here I can define now inside the mail, put my logging list. You understand? So what's gonna be contained in the mail is what? RP. What is RP? If you check it, what is RP? RP is a logging list which contains error messages for OSPF, RIP, and ERGRP. You understand that? If I put show logging, you will see that here for the mail logging, you have what list? RP. What is inside RP? Error message for RIP, ERGRP, and OSPF.